Bob McNally joins me now. He is the president of Rapid Energy Group to learn more about this. Hi, Bob. Good to see you. So the United States is already the world's top producer of crude oil, but the U.S. is also the world's biggest consumer of it. So the question on so many people's minds right now, why can't the U.S. just drill for more oil?
Pamela, good to be with you. You know, we're learning the hard way this very difficult winter that being a big producer and able to drill more in the future, which we can if we get things right, it doesn't really affect the price of crude oil. And the price of crude oil is what drives the gasoline price in your local station and my local station, because the price of crude oil depends on demand and supply all over the world. So when President Putin decides to attack Ukraine, and suddenly we have to look at the prospect of sanctioning the Russian exports of oil to the world, and Russia's the biggest oil exporter to the world, that's a problem that's bigger than the U.S. production capability can solve, unfortunately, in the short term. So as long as we have this risk that Russia's oil may be sanctioned, we've got a problem that's bigger than even the valiant U.S. oil producers can solve.
So then, in your opinion, how high could gas prices go? I mean, are we talking $6 a gallon, $7? What do you expect?
Well, we expect gasoline prices will continue rising until one of two things happens. Either there's going to be some sort of resolution to this war in Ukraine, President Putin's attack on Ukraine, and the risk to that oil supply being cut off from Russia goes away. And if that happens, prices will drop immediately. But if that doesn't happen, I'm afraid pump prices could easily rise towards $5 a gallon or even more until we get to the point where folks have to just stop driving as much, or even economic activity around the world weakens. That's just the hard reality of the global oil market. When you have this kind of a supply shock, it either goes away or it drives prices higher until demand falls.
All right, I want to get to this viewer question that we have for you. This viewer is asking, if Russia only accounts for roughly 3% of our oil imports, then why is the price of gas affected so much? We still have roughly 97% of our imports available. And I know you sort of touched on this, but if you would expand on what you were saying about that, Bob.
You bet. And it's important to understand whether or not we import oil or export oil. And the United States is pretty much self-sufficient. We're actually a net exporter. That doesn't matter for the price of gasoline. It doesn't matter. Why? Because oil is traded globally and is fungible. It's priced globally as well. So everybody pays the same price. Russia, Saudi Arabia, the United States, everybody, whether you're a small producer or a big producer, because it is a traded global commodity that's priced in world markets. So it's a good thing to produce more like we do. It gets our trade deficit down, it improves our national security, but it doesn't mean we can sort of wall ourselves off or insulate ourselves from the global price of crude oil. Everybody faces the same thing. So in a 100 million barrel a day global crude oil market, when you suddenly have a risk to 8 million barrels a day, which is how much Russia exports, everybody in the world is going to see a higher price, as we are now, because that amount of oil cannot be replaced from anywhere else, and it'll affect the price in this global market.
Okay, Bob McNally, thank you for breaking it down for us.
You bet. Thank you.